This section of the oral presentation for the sellouts will cover additional negative and positive impacts the cell phone has had. To start, the cell phone has had negative impacts on the environment. People in the United States tend to only use their cell phone for about 12 months, even though the life of that cell phone is much longer than that. Reclaiming industries estimate that they received only about 1% of the phones in 2006, which means the other 99% turned into e-waste, which is electronic waste that goes to landfills. About 65,000 tons of e-waste was created by cell phones in 2006. And this e-waste gets sent to landfills, which can then leach into our water supply, and the things that go into the water supply from cell phone e-waste are things like cadmium, lead, mercury, and brominated flame retardants, all of which are toxic to humans. An additional negative impact of the cell phone would be declining honeybee populations. More research is needed on this area, but there has been some research in Sweden where they found that the electromagnetic waves that is created by cell phone towers did affect honeybee behavior, and simply because honeybees are so important to crop pollination that we use and we need to eat, it is a very serious issue if it does in fact affect them in a negative way. Another minor negative impact would be that cell phone towers are simply unsightly and people don't like seeing them in their neighborhoods. So they want excellent cell phone coverage, but they don't want to look at the cell phone tower that will allow them to have that excellent cell phone coverage. Even though they are unsightly, one of the positive impacts of cell phone towers is that they are able to help predict floods and how severe the flood will be. They're able to use data from the cell phone towers to determine if it's going to be a very, very severe flood or a not so bad one, so that people in those areas could then properly prepare for how severe the damage will be to their property. Some additional impacts that I think are probably positive are that cell phones have kind of raised the social etiquette standards that we have to adhere to in order to be proper. They've changed the standards so much that many businesses will even publish formal etiquette policies regarding cell phones to their employees so that everyone could adhere to the same policies. Some of the basic ones that are generally covered by all businesses are that you should maintain a 10-foot zone from anyone else while you are on your cell phone, so they're not having to listen to your conversation. Talking about conversations, you should not have any emotional or personal conversations in public where people are going to have to listen to that. Never use a cell phone when you're in any sort of enclosed space, like an elevator, a restaurant, or waiting in line is a big one that people tend to do quite a bit. And you should never use a cell phone while talking face-to-face with someone. You shouldn't use one or answer your phone while you're talking face-to-face with someone else. So although this is sort of another subset of rules that has been created because of cell phones, it also does kind of help remind us how to be courteous and helpful to people in public settings. The following section of the sellouts oral presentation will cover personal assessments and our conclusion.